Hello, my name is Mitch and I draw Blood Force. And we're nearing the end of issue 1 here. We're on page 21 out of 24 for the total for the issue. So we're actually getting the finish line's in sight, kind of. There are a couple of pages that got skipped over completely at the beginning. Well, beginning-ish. In, what are they? 8 and 14, I think. I think that's actually it. Yeah, those. I kind of wanted. I was drawing a lot of pages of dudes standing around talking, or it felt like it anyway. And I was like, man, I want to draw some fighting stuff. I got a little blurry. And now I've been drawing fighting stuff, and I kind of forgot all about it. I haven't gotten back to it yet. So I get to eat my veggies at the end here. So that'll be fine. I mean, at that point, it's like, well, the actual end of the comic is in sight. So there is still some motivation there. I'm going for some. I'm trying for some dynamic layouts here, but it's not something that I have a ton of experience with, so I don't always get it right away. I have that tendency to plan stuff out for the flat shot, and then go, wait a minute, that looks boring. How about if I try it over here? It's like, well, that looks a little less boring, but you could probably still improve it. And then 4 or 5 angles later, I might actually get it. Or I might never get there. I might just draw the boring angle. Or like the 4th angle, which is pretty good looking when the 5th one would have been ideal. I feel like I land there a lot. This is. Yeah, this particular panel, I had to try out a few different ways. This one originally he was going to be doing like an X with his claws, with the blades. To block a plasma blast. And I'm not sure why I didn't go with this one. I'm guessing probably because it's maybe a bit too much of an angle. So when you straighten out the page, I don't know, it looks like it would have been pretty good. And there was a bit of a skip there with the pencil, unfortunately. I think we've just come to the conclusion that there will never be a page that I completely get on video. That's fine. And yeah, I thought this might be fun where we're actually showing some holes in one of the clerg here. And I think I've still got this idea for a panel in my head. Just, oh yeah, they were too far over to the left. So it's like, what's the point of having the clerg being right up there? You want like the rule of thirds kind of thing to be in play, right? It does look better, at least that way, but it's still kind of flat on. This is the kind of thing would have been an acceptable panel, but I wanted something a bit more something. So, I'm going to do a vague approximation of some limbs here. And then, yeah, if I show the actual holes, that'll be fun, right? Might have been. but it's still kind of a boring shot of popo, and I don't know. I think you can do better. I think I agree. It's nice when we can reach a consensus like that. And I still don't think I've got the final idea, but we're getting closer. Yeah. So this is a better angle from below, shooting up, and this was kind of similar to the original idea I had. I think this would have been fine. The problem was I did want gunfire from both of the guns in shot. At least in this version. And to do that, you got to pull the one gun back because of the angle, and it's like I'm just making compromises all over the place already. That is quite the severe worm's eye view, though. I like that. We can get it to look all right. It's not always easy. That looks okay. Yeah, like this would have been pretty good. Mm. I think if you can't do the two arms straight ahead, this doesn't really work that well, actually. But and that's slanted in, and not so much. Yeah. I was about to go in on the shell casings, then gave it a second thought, like, are we sure this is the angle? And like, I'm pretty sure it's not actually. Well, I'm not putting in casings for something that I'm probably going to erase later. How many times has this panel been erased now? It's at least 4. And this is what we went with for a final shot. Again, I'm not sure that this is. I don't know. I don't know if the ideal solution was one that I had in my head, really, that I could come up with. But I think this is pretty good, and it works as a standalone image. So that's a nice extra. Get some nice extreme perspective there with the foreshortening. The arm's too skinny. I do believe I fixed that. More than that, that's still too skinny. That's a little dainty. Trying a little too hard to get that hand in there. Still tucked in too tight there. That looks okay. And I mean, this is a pretty decent solution, but it's interesting because I can see myself locking in on this version, going, okay, so, and I'm not thinking of solutions anymore. I think that's a way of thinking I've got to try and get past a little bit. I don't know. Honestly, not sure if I can, but might as well assume I can and then just keep going. Yes, pretty good shadows here. Of course, Popo always has shadows of some kind. He's never fully lit. And it's, you can't really go wrong with lighting from directly overhead when you want to go for a dramatic shading, right? Make the hand a little bit smaller, make the form a little bit bigger. Yeah, that'll work. Not sure if we needed to make the hand smaller, but that's okay. Oh yeah, I went with completely different... No, that was the... No, it wasn't either. That was a different version of this panel. Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, I can't remember why I switched. But now, like that first version is completely gone from my head. I can't see what you're doing, man. That's a head. Okay, if that's a head looking to the left, that's not the final version. Told you. Okay, this looks like the final version. Man, there's so much just erased crap all over this particular page. I've been noticing a tendency to draw these cleric guys a bit too small or skinny or something. Like they should be bigger than the Blood Force guys, I think, and they probably will be in future. Just something I got to be aware of. Sure. I mean, I'm not. There was a bit where I wanted to try and switch up, like keep this bottom panel here, but go for two vertical panels overhead. I think I just decided not to do that because you're just wasting. I think I was just wasting time, or thought I was. And another version of this wouldn't have been that much of an improvement. I could probably still go. Whoa, shit! All right. Yeah, that was another couple of minutes I missed out on. And we went with super intense Popo in the meantime. Anyway, I was saying I can still do it because the two panels, one of the reasons I didn't do it was because the second panel here I really liked. And then when I finished the inks, I wasn't quite as sold on it. And the bottom panel here ended up being the anchor panel. Getting a bit more detail than usual in Popo's chain. I'm trying to, improve the work ethic. It's not something that comes supernaturally. And I feel like hair is just something that I'll never understand or like organically. Just gonna have to come up with a decent system and go, okay, that's good enough. That doesn't look terrible though. I may have overdone it with the shading and over it, but I don't think so. I was fairly aware of it anyway. I think I ended up looking okay. And really, who's going to notice his hair when his face looks like that? going to do some leather textures here that I don't think turned out too bad. Leather textures are another one of those things. It's I get an idea in my head of how to make them look awesome, and then I don't. A lot of the time, it doesn't quite translate. I'm not sure if this came out quite as awesome as I was hoping, but it did turn out pretty much like I thought it might, and sometimes that's good enough. Yeah, I like really getting that stretchiness, or the wrinkliness from heavy use, that kind of thing that you get with an old leather jacket. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. Yeah, don't mess with it anymore. I'll just leave it from there. Did I? I think I did. And we're still making up our guns as we go. Next page, I decide, okay, I'm actually going to come up with a look for these guns, but not yet, not yet. So that's basically just a modified Browning 1911. Yep, get the wrinkles in there. Not too bad. Okay, leave it. There you go. Now this, I'm not 100% sold on. It looks like I'm just going super lazy or something, or like I just lost my mind for a second here. And I'm trying to go for vibration. Like it's going full automatic. This pistol he's got. And I don't know if it quite achieves that. You can see me really trying to emphasize it here. And of course we're going to go with multiple muzzle flares. So I mean, I think you get the idea. I just don't think it's the best execution. It's one of those things that was like it was a funny idea in my head, and then actually getting it done was like, it could have been done a little better maybe. Again, that's another bit of this page that I might just like do a paste up and cover that up. I haven't decided yet. I think I came to the conclusion. I forgot about it. I did too. I never remember that bandana. God damn it. I think I'd come to the conclusion though that I'm okay with it how it is, and just take it as a bit of an L for like learning. Not to try it this particular way at least. I think I might try to solidify up. Oh man, that does look way better. With the thick line outside, yeah. I may try to solidify up some of the details in the gun at least. I don't know how much of this original page is actually going to stick around for the end. And this effect here was kind of spur of the moment. I don't mind it though. Yeah, I think that could actually look worse. And let's see, I really liked this pose. But something about this, once I got to the inks, it didn't quite carry over for me. I think I like the dynamism. It's one of those things. I don't do a lot of this Dutch angle stuff, or haven't up till now. So it really like the pose really got the feeling that I wanted, so that was nice. But then like that face doesn't look great. It's again, it's okay, and I might just leave all this as it is because it's a page that I do have finished now. That doesn't look god awful. That's a bit too far in, but yeah, this electric punch, like this was an idea. Yeah, it was. I showed up fairly early because it's kind of a staple. But then you try to do it, it's like, well, how the shit do you do an electric punch? I could probably find an example. I probably should have looked. It didn't. It didn't even really occur to me. Lighting it directly from the point of impact, at least that was a good idea. Yeah, yeah. I think that I don't know if the chin's too big or wide. Maybe too wide. I think that might be it. Hmm, yeah, not bad. And you can't even wait till the end of the ink set. No, I was getting very. I was getting a little frustrated with this page, but at this point, I think because I had to switch it up so many times, and then like the, the results I was getting kept being like C plus or better, like between a C plus and a B. And it's like, well, I can't scrap the page. It's still all right. Of course, you could still scrap the page. I got another page sitting around that's like I think in total it's probably a good B plus, maybe even an A minus, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to scrap that whole page because I didn't leave enough room in the lettering. That's page 7, I think. I'm not gonna look it up, but yeah, and that was like the first page I finished, and it ended up looking really good. And it's like, yeah, well, now you don't get to keep that because you didn't think ahead well enough. But yeah, the lighting out here helps sell the electric punch. Oh yeah, I'd taken a look at the original designs of the clerk and went, oh wait, there's more fins on the back. I haven't been using those at all. And I've been thinking their outfits are too plain. I should just put those fins in there. So that's what I did. What's somebody going to do? Stop me? So the lighting on the feet here doesn't make any sense. I don't care. It makes dramatic sense. You could have gone with like a secondary light source. That actually might have looked kind of cool. Nope. Skipped a bit more time and got it a fair bit brighter. Man, that top panel's a mess, eh? With all the erasing. All right, I'm in go 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 mode here. That's good. Yeah, you got to be a bit more. I'm not even sure what the word is. Just sure of yourself with the shadows on his right shoulder there, because it's kind of blending into his head. And I always forget about those knee pads. I'm pretty sure in half the shots he's not wearing knee pads. Not like he really needs to, except that his outfit is very plain without them. I didn't put his leg pockets there either. I really do need to come up with some character model sheets, I think. Like it's part of the gag is forgetting bits of the costume, but it's like it's getting to the point where they're almost all just in in jumpsuits, like leotards with no detail whatsoever. But see, that's still kind of the joke. Yeah, but nah. We want them to look a little differentiated. I do. I really do. Do I? Yeah, I do. I think I do. Get some background dudes in here. I think I shore up the shadows, though, on his arm there a bit first. Another bunch of guys who are just background guys, not the focus. But with all that electricity lighting, I don't think I wanted to do just hatching on them. See, that makes it sound like I thought it through. I really didn't. Just, these guys needed to be black. There's very little actual strategy. Yeah, shore up the shadows there a little bit. Use more actual black, though? Because you should. I don't think I did. Looking at the final, I still don't think I did. That's another thing I can touch up. I don't mind this idea. He's kind of launching himself onto a bunch of the clerk. And he gets a bunch of these artillery kind of looking shots flying past him here. I kind of wanted different angles, but it does kind of just look sloppy. Because I didn't want the laser blast to all just be coming from the same angle. The problem is if you change up the angle, it does just look like you didn't bother using a ruler, which I obviously didn't, but it looks like that. And there was a reason. We can always rely on inking Hawkstab to be a decent time. Yeah, that mouth looks a little better. Yep, decent head. Little big, but not too big. Not page 15 big. And that's the important thing. Yeah. Yeah, he looks a little bit small here. And those Ninja Turtle hands are really not intimidating. And these guys are very skinny by the looks of it. Or at least they're getting very skinny. Maybe this is just a very skinny clerk. I mean, I could just be, just thinking about this all wrong and just judging them all on this one malnourished guy. This is what they get for just allowing anybody on into the army. You gotta have standards. And I'm realizing I'm getting an awful lot of these silhouetted clerk guys, and I was like, it's starting to become a thing. I mean, again, at least we're approaching the end of the issue. I can kind of start over fresh from the next one. I'm currently on page 22, about halfway through. There are a few more there, and I got a chance to get a bit more in detail there. I think I'm going to try and avail myself of that. And then they're on a little bit of page 23, and that should be about it. So we can just redouble our efforts for the end of the issue here, and then start again fresh. That's a lot of black right there. Very nice. Yeah, we're showing an awful lot of the outside of Hawkstab. You know, just I don't know, like Hawkstab completely dwarfs this guy. I mean, he's a large steroid man, but he's not the largest steroid man or anything. This is my fake Jim Lee blood. Not bad for not using a reference, I think. That's shabby. That chest ended up looking a little small. That probably contributed to the big headness. Oh well. I wonder if that's the problem. It's not big head problem. It's small chest problem. I was very conscious of not putting too many lines through that hair there. And I'm not going to bother with any kind of background on here. It is a conscious decision in this case. It's more just because there's going to be a bit of dialogue here. I don't think background would really add anything to it. I think this is one of those ones where you can not have it. Of course, I do end up thinking that in a couple of these over the next couple of pages. I ended up hurting my fingernails quite a bit here because I couldn't aim the goddamn thing. Oh, is that it? Oh, that is kind of it, actually. That is the whole thing. All right. Yeah, so anyway, this should be the end of the... this should be the final look at the page here. Again, not bad, I think. A total, yeah, like somewhere in the B's. I don't think I'll be redoing it. Probably. I do think it could probably use a touch up here and there though. Yeah. So I'll work on finishing up page 22, and then just a couple pages to go before I can do all the crap I didn't want to do at the beginning. With the finish line in sight though, so should be okay. So thanks for watching that one. Please hit like if you like this one. Hit subscribe, hit the notifications. You can follow me on Twitter at Team Bloodforce. You can subscribe on Patreon at the Patreon where you can subscribe. And I'll see you next time. Bye.